You're watching a segment of The Splash, Greater West Bloomfield's news magazine show.
I'm joined now by Cynthia Gleich from City Row in West Bloomfield to talk about how her business started up and persisted throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. And Cynthia, thank you so much for joining us. You have quite the story because you started right before the pandemic began, and you are still going strong. So tell me how this has been for you.
It's been interesting, to say the least. Challenging, of course, having to just overcome the challenges by just learning new ways to run the business. Opened up November of 2019, shut down March 16th of 2020 when fitness was shut down in the state of Michigan per regulations, and shut down for 6 months. It reopened shortly for a week in October. During that time, though, what I did was, so our facility is rowing and weight work. So it's, if you want to call it interval training, it's high impact, but at low intensity. So your joints and everything are safe. You're not going to be jumping up and down. You're going to be doing high intensity, but low impact. So it protects your joints so you can have fitness in your life forever. What I did, because it incorporates rowers and weights, I started calling the members we had at the time and giving them the option of renting our machines out. And we would deliver them to the home because they're not secured to the ground. They can move out of the building. So I rented the majority of them out to the members. And then I was calling different high schools that had crew teams, which there aren't many, so I called the few that there were. And I did get one team that wanted to continue with their practices. So they didn't have enough rowers in school. So they rented some of our rowers out as well. So in order to be able to do that, you had to have a golden membership, so the highest membership. So you would get the rower and a set of weights, and it worked out well for all the individuals because then they were able to go free access on our virtual workout app. So that was free of charge to them, and it had all different instructors from across the country. Then I also did roll out online workouts with weights, without weights, you name it, was doing every type of workout to give people, that workout still, because not only is it good for the body, but it's great for the mind. And so many people during the whole time of the shutdown, kind of basically were going crazy. They needed something. They needed something to connect to, even if it was just watching, something to be able to, join and from their home. So it was interesting. You had to think of different ways that were the normal ways of working out in the studio. You had to bring the studio to the people. So however you could do that, you had to do it to survive, honestly, because there's unfortunately, many gyms that did shut down during COVID. And
they're shut down permanently now, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
So all of those rowers that have been out, so now obviously you're back open, right? Mm-hmm. And, we had talked briefly about having the mask and having to work out and what a challenge that was, right?
Yes.
So now how is that going?
It's lovely because you can actually breathe now because, so not only am I the GM, but I'm also the lead instructor. So I instruct classes too. And trying to breathe with that over your face is very challenging. It's like working out at a high elevation pretty much is what it is, because your oxygen is reduced and it's very challenging. So now having the mask off, it's just kind of like, oh, wow,
a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, right. Pun intended.
Right,
totally.
For sure.
So it's just, like I said earlier, we doubled our membership since last month. So people are truly getting much more comfortable being in a closed environment with others without masks. Granted, we still have social distancing. We have not put all of our rowers back in. So our max capacity right now is 12 spaces. And I do still have some rowers out that are rented. I just had one return today. But I still have about, I think, 3 or 4.
Oh, wow.
Back in studio.
So are you are still accepting memberships, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Forever.
Forever. And then what about the virtual stuff? So has that, is that still going, or what's happened to that?
corporate has gone forward with continuing with virtual workouts. So that's our City Row Go app, where they can go on, and it's a fee that you have to pay per month. But with the golden membership the premium membership at our studio, you still get that free. So they can go on, and it's not just rowing and weight classes. So, you think of City Row and you think it's a rowing class. No, it's actually some rowing and a good amount of weight work and mat work. So you'll be doing planks, you'll be doing push-ups, you'll be doing bicep curls, shoulder overhead presses, anything you could do with weights, you're doing it in our classes. So it's just a great variety of that. So online, you can have just the rowing classes, you can have just weight classes, we have yoga, we have meditation, we have stretching, there's a whole variety of classes on our app that they have access to, and there's different time frames, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 50 minutes, and then you can choose by instructor. It's very nice. I mean, it's not just a one format option. You have
choices.
A lot of options. Yeah, a lot of options with everything on there.
With people heading back to work now, those different times will probably be important, right? I mean, people to where they maybe had like an hour and a half will maybe only have 20 minutes now.
Yeah, so that's where the app works out really well for those people that can do it in the comfort of their home, or even on a break at work, or however they want. They can meditate, they can do yoga, they can do a full-on workout. But most people need to go into a gym to get a workout because they're not motivated enough. So it was quite interesting during the time while we were open, while people were still working at home. So, and I had open gym hours where you can come in by yourself. I also had personal training hours that I would do when we were shut down. But when we opened up, still wearing masks, and people were working at home, trying to figure out like the typical hours that a gym would be open for classes no longer applied, because people were home working, and now they could just pop out and go to a class whenever. So it was truly a guess every month of like, okay, are these hours going to work? Let's see what kind of attendance we get in these classes. And then, okay, no, that 5 o'clock just doesn't work at all. Let's just get rid of that.
Right.
And we do have different formats. We have a cardio core, we have standard, the standard one, and then we have just strictly weights, which is pretty much just an all weights class. So, the one that's most popular is the standard, and that's an equal combination of weights and rowing.
So one thing that you've learned from this whole pandemic as a business owner, what would it be?
Oh, yeah. You have to be able to adapt with the changes. You have to have a mindset that's like quick thinking of, I will evolve with the changes, and I'll last, but how am I going to do that? And you've got to have a brain that can quick think of the other opportunities out there of what you can do, rather than just having members come into the studio. If you're going to survive something like this, I mean, pray that it never happens again. But when everything is shut down, you still got to pay the bills and everything. Right. So you have to, you're put in a corner basically of, you better start thinking, and you better come up with something really fast. So it's taught, I think, me and a lot of other people on how to think outside the box of how to do this business totally different than what you think and how it used to be done.
And especially when you got ready to open, right? I mean, it was a whole different thing, and it's pivoted to a completely different thing.
Yeah, so we actually had a ReGrand Opening in October. So like I said, we had opened in November of 2019, shut down a couple months later. So it was like, didn't even get traction, right? And so the members that were in that studio, they really didn't last. And then when we reopened in October, shut down a week later. So it was just fitness just kept getting like, right. Oh, you're open. Nope, sorry, you're closed.
Not this week, maybe next week.
Yeah, right. So
where would people find more information?
So you can go to cityrow.com, and then you have to choose the location. We're the only location in Michigan, so that's not difficult. Once you go on cityrow.com, it's Michigan, and you can go on the website there. Right now, actually, I am doing a free week of workouts for anybody that wants to try it. Come on in, or contact on the website. You can fill out a form on the website. It says try it out for free. That's for one, but if you fill it out, I'll be the one contacting you. and letting you know you have the option to try it out for a week. And then from there, we have a promotion going on for half off the first month's membership.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm so glad that you persisted, and it's so nice to talk to you again. And we look forward to hearing about your future success because, obviously you've done the pivot well, so it's worked.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching this segment of The Splash. To watch the entire show or other segments, catch us on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99. Or look us up online at thesplash.tv and listen to us every week on 89.3 WBLD, the all-new Lakes FM.